Welcome to the first Giro d'Italia Legends series, coming to you from, well, Wales actually. Because we don't have a Giro d'Italia to watch this year, we thought it'd be a good idea to highlight some of the legends of the race, those who have shown dedication, passion, flair and talent to one of the hardest races in the calendar. And we're going to start with Cadel Evans. First of all, let me give you some quick highlights. He was in the Maglia Rosa for just one day in the 2002 Giro. He finished second twice in the 2007 and 2008 Tour, and there was a lot of controversy in the 2009 edition of the Vuelta, where photographers and media blocked his team cars and official mechanics did a very slow wheel change. This probably cost him about a minute, and he finished 1 minute 32 behind Valverde in the finish in Madrid. During the 2009 Road World Championships, Cadel performed a thrilling solo win. And who can forget that stage win of the Giro in 2010 on the mud-strewn Strade Bianche? Cadel Evans is undoubtedly one of Australia's most successful former pro cyclists, being one of 3 non-Europeans to ever win the Tour de France. He was born in Northern Territory, Australia on the 14th of February 1977 and grew up in Burunga. He wasn't the tallest or the fastest, so sport wasn't very encouraging for him at school, but he was an avid skateboard enthusiast. His first found passion for cycling was in mountain biking. He was very successful at this at a young age, and he had many Australian national titles. In 1995, he started a scholarship with the Australian Institute of Sport on the mountain bike programme. And one of the first tests showed he had the heart, the lungs and the legs to be one of the greatest ever. He had the highest ever VO2 max ever tested at the Australian Institute of Sport, but it wasn't straightforward for him. He sacrificed a lot, leaving Australia and moving to Europe, meaning learning a new language and leaving his friends and his family behind. In 1998 and 1999 he won the Mountain Bike World Cup, and in late 1999 he won the Tour of Tasmania. And the great Phil Liggett said, "This kid will win the Tour one day." And wasn't he right? In 2001, he switched to being a full-time road rider, where he worked his way through the ranks. He started off with the Seiko squad, but after a year moved to Mappe, where he started working with the performance coach Aldo Sassi. Aldo Sassi wasn't just a performance coach to Evans, he was also a mentor and helped him transition from being a mountain biker to a road rider. After winning the Tour in 2011, Evans dedicated his win to his late coach. Something that made Cadel one of the greatest was that he was a perfectionist. He would be interested in every single detail that could make him a better and faster rider. He would approach his DS and mechanics after every race and go through every single detail. He had a scientific approach to everything and an exceptional understanding of his numbers in training. His old coach David Martins even said he could lecture at a university on sports science. His first Giro and first Grand Tour in 2002 saw him taking the Maglia Rosa on stage 16 in the mountains, just before the Queen's stage in the Dolomites. But unfortunately, on the last climb on stage 17, he cracked and lost nearly 14 minutes. Don't worry, we've all been there. I've cracked on many of the hills. In the time he was with Team Telecom, he suffered many crashes and broken collarbones, which affected his results greatly. Letting the team down was always the hardest part, because after all he was still putting the hard work in. In 2005 he decided to move to Davitamon Lotto team, and he stayed with them until 2005. In 2010, Evans joined BMC Racing, and during that year the Giro started in Amsterdam, and on stage 7 it was a 222km stage on the Strade Bianche roads. That stage was actually called the Mud Stage, and it saw a great battle between Cadel and Alexander Vinokurov. It was Cadel who won the stage after resisting numerous attacks from Vinokurov in the final 10 kilometres. He did manage to finish 5th on GC, and he did win the points classification that year too. In 2013, Cadel targeted the Giro and the Tour de France, focusing all his training to those races. His season was off to a fairly good start with some early season wins, but the Giro that year featured a lot of cold and wet weather, and it earned his reputation as one of the most gruelling Grand Tours in recent memory. Evans was secure in 2nd place in the general classification, behind leader Vincenzo Nibali, until the last mountain stage, which was hindered by a snowfall, but he still did manage to finish on the last step of the podium in the general classification. A disappointing tour for him in 2013, as he just didn't have the form and finished in 39th position on GC. Cadel announced that he was going to retire in February 2015, and one of his last races was actually the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race, a race named after him and one of the really big early season races for the pros. And you know you've made it when you've got a race named after you. Evans briefly came out of retirement in 2017 when he went and won the Absa Cape Epic with former teammate George Hincapie. Cadel is still in great shape and could probably come back to the World Tour tomorrow. So that's it for the first of our Giro Legends. I hope you enjoyed this insight into the career of Cadel Evans. We've got plenty more coming up over the next few weeks, so stay tuned.